Hmm. Looks a bit like Moobot may be dead, or maybe just taking some time out. Um, I'm having a White Rabbit Dark Ale. This camera setup is weird. I don't know. There's something going on. It's moved. The problem is my benching screen is right above the camera, and that's very space efficient. But it also means that every once in a while I knock the camera, and then I don't feel like I can get it back to where it was. But cheers anyway. So what this beer is good, but what it reminds me of is the Matrix movie, and just as an for your information, as like a PSA, there is only one Matrix movie. I mean, there are some rumors of two or even three other Matrix movies that just doesn't it doesn't they don't exist. That's just fake news. So in the one singular Matrix movie that does exist, there is the way that uh, Neo first kind of discovers or meets up with Trinity in a nightclub is he's given this hint by someone who comes to his front door who says, "Follow the White Rabbit." So I don't know if Carrie Ann Moss will come to my house right now, but you never know. I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. I'm by drinking a White Rabbit. So there you go. Which ironically is a dark ale. You'd think that White Rabbit, but I mean, White Rabbit, the brewery, makes many different beers, and just so happens that I'm drinking the dark ale, which is, obviously the opposite color of a White Rabbit. Anyway, today, gonna do a little bit of 32M. I thought I had a. Oh, you're not gonna see the biscuits, are you? Oh, that's a shame. Hold on. So I'm on the tachyon. I'm on the chiller. Chiller is set to 16 degrees or so. That's just above dew point. Today is, hey Paul, today is you could almost say unseasonably warm day where the dew point is like 16 degrees. In past days when it was like, 15 outside, the dew point would be like 12. But today we had like a 20-degree day. So anyway, chiller is a little bit warmer than usual. I'm on my eight, are they eight datas? There must be an SPD feature somewhere here. Is it under here? No. There is definitely SPD. Hold on. Under here, I think. There we go. Team group. Yeah, okay. So team groups, and I think they're called, not that these sticks are any good really, but they're cheap. They're cheap and they're guaranteed. When I bought them, which was like, I guess around the time of manufacturing, 10th week 10 2023 sounds about right. Let's say mid 2023. T Create, and it's a 6400 bin, isn't it? So before I took the spreaders off, I think this is the exact kit. Let's mute this. We don't want any. Yeah. How can I don't want to maximize. I just want to theater mode. Ugh. Don't play back the music, please. Theater mode. There you go. Yeah. I think this is the exact kit. Anyway, so that's the kit I've got on there. I've got my heat killer block, which I hadn't run water for a long time until last stream, because I had to rejig I had to update the tubing, take off. So the good thing about the heat killer block is the retention comes off, so you can move to a AM4, AM5 type bracket, which was the one that was on there. But the bad thing is, I don't know if it's necessarily bad. I don't really know much about water cooling. Maybe this is the way that it has to be, but the slightly inconvenient part is you have to take off is it called the cold plate at the bottom, and then the water comes out, and then maybe the O-ring will come out and stuff. So I was just putting off doing that and running a lot of air. But now I have the heat killer on there. I even have a fan for the RAM. This is pretty try hard. So that's my rig. the only chip I have left, I have a G7400, but I sold my 13900K because that was really average. But with what is coming down the pipe, is it called Meteor Lake? With lower clocks, no hyperthreading, weird core topology, new process node. I could easily see a situation where 13th and 14th, so 14th gen is already not mandatory. You can already like do all your benching on 13th gen because 14th is just a really light refresh. But I could see a situation where 13th and 14th gen stay like the benching gens for legacy stuff, like 32M, 01, 03, 05, 06, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is my last remaining chip, but it's a good chip. It's got that was the RAM. Now let me quickly do this. It's got 95 biscuits, which is definitely above average. It full pots nicely. It does. I mean, I'm no memory wizard or anything, but I was able to even full pot it at 8200, which, you know, on this architecture, often your RAM clocks can be quite limited on, depending on the board as well, on full pot because the IMC has issues. Why is it not showing this? Because I disabled cores, I guess. I think that would be interesting. So I'm going to do a quick load optimize defaults. That didn't save over the profile, did it? No. Okay. Yeah, if you're being careful, but that's see, that's the thing. Like for me, everything is about speed. So I'm not saying that removing the cold plate itself is the issue. The issue is the time cost. And if you're being so careful that you don't have to remove the cold plate, then you're spending about as much time as you would just quickly removing the cold plate. That's my point. But yeah, obviously the additional issue there is that you might lose the O-ring or whatever, or you might leak water on your carpet or whatever. Let's make sure we actually get into BIOS. HK4. What's an HK4? Oh yeah, nice rig cam. Yeah, I do try. I mean, I haven't really talked about my streaming setup in a long time because stream is a stream rig. Is that? Yeah, okay. Hopefully that list is still up to date. I use Micro Four Thirds cameras and one of those quad HDMI input. So I use two GH5s. One of these quad input. It's a Black Magic quad HDMI input card. And then for the stream rig, I use a more expensive capture card that is much better at resolution switching. But yeah, I love photography in real life, let's say. So this is kind of like the reason I like messing around with the cameras. But I still want to. So I have like a LED light panel, but it does this weird reflection like in my face, and like sometimes you can like see. I don't know. My eyes look weird, I think. So I need to diffuse that. I need to put like a sheet or something in front of this light, but then I'll have less light. But yeah, that sheen is a bit weird. But yeah, I need to get another longer HDMI cable. I think the one that I use for the rig cam is pretty cool because it can go all across the room because it's like a 15-meter HDMI cable or something. But I want to get a second one because I have a fisheye lens, which I think will be really cool to have like a room cam again, which I had on previous streams, but not anymore. To have like a fisheye like somewhere off in the far corner of the room to show sort of like the entire setup. It was a good cam to use, not like made benching or anything, but just when I'm off to get like a new beer or something, just to show the entire room or to start or end a stream. Okay, so I've now loaded optimized defaults. Here you've got the biscuits. It does vary between a bit between different biases. I am on X7E, which is quite old. X7R, I think, is the current best BIOS, but this is where I have my RAM profile saved, and I'm currently being very cautious with BIOSes because I already fried a BIOS chip on my AM5 Tachyon, and here BIOS position, where is it? You can probably tell that I'm on BIOS position 2 here because BIOS position 1 won't post and also won't flashback. So this BIOS is fine, it'll do 8200, so all good. And I loaded optimized with defaults because I wanted to show you the core prediction. So this chip, not only is it, so it's got a good IMC, or a good full pot IMC at least, I would argue. It's got a good biscuits value, and of course my postcode has gone a bit wonky. Okay, this is the kind of stuff I don't that like gets me OCD'd. There you go. So good biscuits, good IMC, but then here the best cores. It's really even, because you can tell maybe the mount is a bit shit because the temperature of the different cores is different here. But it's actually telling me core 00 is last. That 1 and 2 are best, but on the other BIOS, they're so close to one another. On the other BIOS, it claims that core 5 is the absolute best core, whereas here it claims core 1. I mean, all of this stuff isn't an exact science, but you will find chips that are just like have a massive imbalance. So it's a good multi-core chip, it's a good single core chip. And now I should probably load up the profile and not faff around too much. Yeah. Acrylic. Lets you see clogs. Oh yeah, and the other thing was I hadn't actually opened up that block in so long that I actually did get gunk out of it. Because the tubes, you can tell these tubes are new. They were like all milky. So if they're all fucked up, then obviously the inside of the block. So I gave that a little bit of a wipe and a little bit of a clean and stuff. But I think everything's kind of going all right now in terms of that. I thought 32-bit OS. Yeah, so I had a 32-bit OS somewhere and I've misplaced it, which is a bit weird, but I'm just going to build one from scratch. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. Oh no, it's not booting, is it? So I recently stocked up on some more bench drives. It's a constant, so there's obviously one attached. So what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 drives. They do die though because the image process, at least the way Macrium Reflect does it, maybe Ghost is easier on your SSDs, but the imaging process does like put a lot of writes on the drives, I think, or maybe just the drives that I buy are really old because they're all 120 gig drives, like 40. I have some 40 gigs. I think my 60 gig died. I have a couple of Intel 80 gigs, and then the new ones I got in now, probably the smallest thing you can get now is, I mean, these are such trash. 8 Pacer, 120 gig. And like the write speed on these are atrocious. It's like the SATA standard isn't even all that fast really for SSDs these days, and somehow these end up being actually like too slow for it. It's kind of funny. I think let's give it yeah, we do want to boot UEFI. SM841. You'll have to tell me what that is. I mean, I assume it's an SSD, but I've never heard of that. Give me a just give me a bloody boot drive. Boot selection. I was just a little too late on the F12 there. Okay, maybe I. In order to not blue screen during Windows setup, let's drop my RAM just temporarily to like 7800 or something. Yeah, I mean these A Pacers they cost me like $7 US a piece or something. I got a lot of 5 of them, so it doesn't get much cheaper than that. Two bit MLC. Oh, okay, just a different technology to in order to. I don't want any of this shit in. So yeah, what I've done with core enabling is, yeah, 3 good cores, whatever. It doesn't really matter, does it? Can I please? All right. You're using only Samsung drives. Yeah, but I'm just so cheap. Like a lot of the like ancillary stuff I'm just really cheap on. Like for the longest time I did quite a bit of cold benching on GD900 pace because I think the cost of Kingpin is ridiculous. Cheated in what sense? Be careful when you throw around kind of jokes about O3 cheating because they are cheats in O3. Why is it having such a hard time training lower RAM? I don't get it. The fuck? See, that's the thing that makes DDR5 fucking weird is you're trying to run lower RAM settings and it's actually harder. Okay. Let's hit our limp mode. Hey, Mickey. Mikey? Mickey? I don't know. Mikey, I guess. O1DW. What does that mean? Just don't buy YOS drives. Just don't buy YOS anything. I mean, maybe if he was peddling cheap alcohol, that would be kind of an okay buy, but don't buy anything. Well, I have to qualify that. So when he sells so-called binning rejects, a lot of those are really good. Well, sometimes they're dead, but a lot of the time they're good. But yeah, anytime he's selling something like that he claims to be actually good, watch out. Oh, one tweak. No, I don't think one tweak does anything anymore. So you're trying to do 3-way 01 290Xs. Isn't, I guess in 01 290X is still a meta, not Fury plus Pro Duo. Okay, is it gonna boot now or what? It's doing something. Okay. So yeah, I thought I had a 32-bit OS lying around. I thought I had it on a drive, but I keep saving over stuff. That's part of the motivation of getting some more drives. But I'll install a 32-bit from scratch. I think that's a good idea. So is this score up yet? In 30 seconds. Well, the best 6G score is this one. We won't be getting anywhere close to that, but just to give comparison, so 4 minutes. Oh, we will be getting better than that because it's so. It's all about core speed, right? Ah, this is weird. It's like DDR5, like modern 32M is just weird. Okay, so let me log in. Thankfully, I have autosaved the password so no one can guess it via like analyzing the audio of me typing it in or something. So my personal what's going on with this? So it keeps on. Okay, so I know what it's doing. So it's not saving the boot order correctly. So it keeps on trying to boot off of the SSD that I actually just want to override. And every time I think that I've told it to prioritize booting off of the USB stick I want to install off of, it doesn't like listen. So I'm thinking that it's the RAM that's causing these blue screens, but it's just that because the OS is just a random OS that's not for this platform. Okay, let's just boot override. Okay, this should do something. It'll probably just get stuck on that forever. Okay, so you have the second view there. That's so this is how old my current global entry is. It's 150th. It's so old. It's only 37 globals because it's on 11th gen. It's crazy. That's why I'm doing 32M. I've been putting it off for so long. Good memories. DDR4, 4800, 14, 13, 13. I love that. That's just deep inside. That gives me such a fuzzy, warm feeling compared to whatever the hell DDR5 is. Whoa, you know, 40, 8400 C32 or whatever. Who gives a shit about that? Okay, so this is a cold score and it's 6.5 gigahertz. So I might have trouble beating that on chiller. It just depends because my chip does. That's a really odd place for it to reboot. I don't really get that, but okay. Let's just give it a minute. BIOS version X1. I didn't know that was a thing. That sounds ancient. So this is actually a pretty good chip. Like an i5 that is 6.5 on 11th gen was actually really good. But this chip, so obviously IPC is pretty much the same, weirdly. All these generations later, but let's try that again. And this was on my Royals before they died. Shit, the memories. So this is kind of our target today. I don't know if we'll reach it because I keep getting hung up on this point and then sidetracked. My chip does all the legacies with enough volts will do, but my chiller is higher today. Maybe 6.3 will be hard, but it'll do 6.3. But I also don't know how affinity. I haven't run 32M at all on this platform. Basically, I don't know how affinity will impact this. But if I can affinity to my best cores, and maybe later on in the day when it cools down a bit more, or in the night, can chill it down a bit more, then 6.3 should be pretty dead certain. 6.4 is only the lightest benches, like the lightest subtests in 01. And to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make up the gap, that 100 megahertz gap, because DDR4, all other things. What the fuck is going on with this booting? I'm just trying to boot off a fucking USB stick. Like, Jesus Christ, like, what is going on here? Like, why is it? Okay, the pump is on. It's not overheating or anything. Like, I don't get it. I already don't understand that. OS dead. First time chatter. Well, welcome. I'm just trying to boot off of a USB stick, so let's let's maybe I almost feel like I should be applying an OC to get this to boot. DDR4. Oh, Paul, I didn't know you had a DDR4 board. Is that your main Z790 board, or do you just have that for shits and giggles? Hey, tech tested. That's what I'm saying, is like, just because you were able to get 3 minutes and 59 on DDR4 doesn't mean I can do it on DDR5. DDR5, like, I think it's a lot harder to get the same efficiency. I mean, I'm not saying you can't, but like, you can pretty much throw in 4800, 14, 13, 13, 28 RAS, 16 fall, and you can probably get as good efficiency as my profile here will do. You don't like DDR5? You're not the only one. After I used DDR5, I went back to DDR4. Nice. DDR5 haters represent in chat. I love it. What's with this weird hanging on this blue screen? Like, I don't really get it. Fuck. How do I not have? This is really weird. Okay, let me ask my source. I don't. What could I even be? I don't really. Let me just re-Rufus. Okay, x64. We don't want that. Let's try 22H2. How late? Like, when did I get rid of 32-bit though? Okay, I'm re-downloading this. I saw that I've got. Struggle is real. And Google Drive servers are not what they used to be. I'm only getting 5.6 down. 11 minutes left. Jeez. Okay. Let me do a little bit of a BIOS run through while I'm waiting for that. Yeah, I'm not. I'm probably going to be repeating this over and over again because people won't believe me. But I'm not doing team comps this year. Maybe ever again. I don't know. I mean, if never say never, right? Like if there's an extremely specific piece of hardware that I have that's required, I could see myself doing 1 or 2 subs, but I'm not doing like the big, like fucking like 12 sub marathons that take up half my life this year for Team Cup for sure. So whatever the stages are, I know there's a few memes going around like there's going to be a reference frequency dog pile or something. I think I saw or heard, but yeah. Um, but the real answer is I'm leaving my I'm saving my analysis for Team Cup for the next um, overclock show thingy. That's that's what I'm really doing. Okay, so maybe while we're waiting for that dumb download to complete, um, like a basic sort of tutorial on current gen, or well, pretty much all gen gigabyte biases. When you're in that weird non-advanced mode that just I don't know how to navigate this shit. What's with all the weird fans? F2 is to change to the actual advanced mode, and then the way to get rid of it completely forever on every boot is preferred operating mode advanced. But the way I'm going to do it is F4 and F3 are for saving and loading profiles, so you don't have to do that weird thing of going to the tools menu and all that for Asus, unless they have a keyboard shortcut that I don't know about. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to load my 32M profile, and then there's the insert button is for favoriting and unfavoriting items. So in the favorites menu, like VTTD, like who gives a shit about that? And frequency TVB, why is that favorited by default? That's just dumb. Oh no, it's because it's a sub menu. What else? I don't care about XMP. I do care about memory multiplier, performance ratio. Just enable this and then forever unfavorite it. Base clock is handy. Secure boot mode. Can I unfavorite from in here? Yes. There you go. Okay, so let's save that profile. And it's weird because when you change the list of favorites that you have, it doesn't show up as a difference when you save. Yet, yeah, I think it gets saved separately. I don't think it's actually part of the bias profile. I think no matter what you try to save into the bias profile, I think I'm right in saying that the next time you cold boot, your favorites will be kind of reset or something. Like that's the impression I get. Maybe if you save your profile to USB and then load it, maybe it's different that way. But yeah. So I haven't really looked at TC stages, but that's because I'm only intellectually interested, not practically interested. Come on, download. Google, you're one of the biggest corporations in the world and you can't manage to give me like just max out my download. It's pretty weak. Oh, it's gonna do one more boot loop. Where's my, I need my, oh, here we go. Most important peripheral, SATA to USB. Why is it going AE? Why is it trying to boot? That's just dumb. Is it stuck now? $11 left still. 5 minutes ago it was still 11 minutes left. But maybe like a more realistic comparison in terms of 32Ms. If I look at the list of global scores here. I think I found, so I think Liquify Mods is just 2 seconds ahead, and that's at 6.3. So this is like a sort of pleb score. Sorry, Liquify Mods, but it's true. So this is what I'd be aiming for more realistically. Just mash these loops. Because what is it like? It's like 8,000 RAM. Yeah, 8,000 RAM on Apex. Okay, so what else can I show you? Have I already disabled this bullshit? Yeah, okay. So this is how I know to do my... Oh, I actually wanted to favor this. Wish there was... Yeah, okay, that's enabled. But then do the RTLs. 63, that's actually kind of loose. I feel like I can just bump that up. Oh, let's look at this score that supposedly was put up, you know, in 30 seconds, you know, 5 minutes ago. Ah, okay. So that is a global first. Let's compare and contrast. I know Team AU hasn't rerun this stuff in a long... Oh, February. So it is on the 49er cave. Okay. Probably has backups though. So let's check the... Yeah, see, I don't think anyone sets up this like big 2 or 3 card rig only to score to beat the next score by 112 points. Like there's definitely backups there. I don't know if there's like 2,400 points worth of backups, but there's definitely backups there. So I don't think the comparison will be all that interesting because it'll just be every subtest is lower, right? So this is the Sebi score. Where's cars? Where's dragons? Where's lobby? Better nature. Okay, so GPU clocks must be better. Nature likes GPUs, right? You're missing your GPU Z tab. This score is going to be pulled. Am I missing something here? 4 CPU Zs. Like two CPU Zs that are totally not necessary, but missing the GPU Z. Okay, but let's see what claimed clocks you've got, because I believe you. So 12, 20, 15, 50 versus 12, 25, 15, 50. Okay, what could that be down? Oh, maybe like ULPS, Better OS. I mean, maybe Team AU's lot is different and is optimized more for nature or the run order. I mean, it could be anything, of course. What about the other settings though? So we've got 8533 RAM at 688 on core, 6764. Yeah, but 03 likes low and tight anyway, so like 8533 CAS 32 versus 6400 CAS 30. Probably not going to make a difference. I'm assuming you're on 120 hertz, which I think is the top that that generation of card can do. Refresh it, okay. I'm like an unpaid moderator out here. It's interesting how the boards act differently. Like, is it just that you recently run a render test, or does the Apex actually default to 3.0, whereas I mean it's ULPS related, right? Well, it all depends on whether for the screenshot he's got the primary card. You'd imagine the primary card is selected because that's what happens when you initially open GPZ. Because if it's a secondary card, then the PCIe 1.1 is because of ULPS. Bias version. Different V bias version. Oh, here's your telltale. Hawaii means it's not the 295X2, whereas you're on the primary card, Vesuvius. Okay, so we can't really compare that. Funny how it says signature unknown, even though it's the same driver and the driver is WHQL. It's the little differences. Anyway, hoping for a backup there. That'll be fun. Have a bit of a backup battle. Let's look at the four-way as well, which typically is the slower score, right? Oh no, that's AKM. What am I talking about? Oh. Okay, weird that you're both benching the exact same thing. What's going on with this pipe rhyme? So has this been a backup battle? Oh, what? Oh, this is DDR4, but it's world record. Splay broke out the DDR4 rig. But what's the reason for... Oh, maybe he doesn't want to... So, how good are the ASRock DDR4 LJ1700 boards? Because maybe he doesn't want to have to break out a Strix board to do DDR4 on LJ1700, because I would have thought DDR4 on LJ1700 would still be better than on LJ1200. So it's just 1956. It's not even anything special. It's 1956 Gear 1. Boom. World record. That's 695. Interesting. The OCF is fine. Yeah, no, but what I'm trying to say is the OCF only exists on LGA 1200. But I would have thought the higher single core performance, whatever, bigger cache, maybe a slightly better IMC or whatever of LJ 1700 would have meant that if you're going to go the DDR4 route, you go LJ 1700. See, this is what I mean about DDR4 being good for this shit. Like, exciting. Rocket Lake has way lower internal latency. Hi, Geronimo. Okay. The suffering, not really the suffering, but the waiting is almost over for this download to finish. I still gotta unzip it and image it onto the drive though. Maybe I shouldn't have sold all my Rocket League stuff. That would be a fun bench to try. I've got an 11,700K lying around just to have a little bit of a play with on coal to see what kind of gear 1 it can do. Got a comment on that. That's oh, it would help if I could spell. Boom. Okay, how's the download going? 40 seconds left. What's the gap though? So it's only in the millisecond range. But then again, like the effort required for this shit is like you're doing cold RAM and all this fancy shit, and then the other score is literally just find a good 11,900K and just clock it up, and that's it. But what's the... How did he get that 6 seconds versus Dark Gregor though? That's the really interesting thing. Oh, that's only single stage. There must have been a... Oh, because 32B has not had globes for that long, so people haven't really gone back and looked at DDR4 with that. Okay, I'm unzipping the file. Which is an MR IMG, so that's good news. That's Macrium. No, would help if I knew how to click things. Okay, that's restoring. Cool, I like that. I like this kind of weird shit. Gotta give it a like as well. Do likes... Here's a question that I still don't know the answer to after over 7 years of being in the scene. Do likes add to your like forum score? Like this what is it? No. What is it? These points for... No, that's leaderboard for today. I mean these all-time points. And these 5,000 points. Do likes do anything in regard to that, or is it just likes on your posts and stuff? Of course there's dark mode on the forum. What are you talking about? It's essential. I don't want my eyes burn out. It is, I assume, under account settings. I shouldn't really be showing any of this stuff. Okay, maybe not. Where... No, it's under profile, right? Okay, let me go to a different view and actually just find the setting. There's dark mode. There's definitely dark mode. I mean, it's enabled, so it obviously exists. But it was reasonably easy to find. What the hell? Where is it? Meanwhile, my restore is done, so that's good news. Wow, where is it? I mean, the sane way of doing it would be to look up Dark mode on Innovision. Man, I don't know. Jeez, okay. All right, if I find it, I'll put it in chat. I just, where did I enable dark mode? That's driving me insane now. Maybe my Firefox is just set to like OS dark mode and it somehow picks that up or something. Okay, so you've got to go into the actual forum. Okay. So CSM is on. Let's try other OS. Where are the CSM details though? I think we want. Hold on, we may want CSM off and go into Windows Boot Manager above 8G. I've not had to disable it before, but if I run into troubles, that's the first thing that I'll try. Okay, so let's go into forum. Team selection at the bottom of the forum page. Theme selection. Okay, let's try. I'm just drawing major blanks on all kinds of things today somehow. Where the hell is the 4G decoding bullshit? It's the kind of setting that most of the time you find it and you don't need it. Like it just stares you in the face. I don't think it would be under tweaker. Under the Facebook logo. Oh wow, that's super faint. It's not even like showing up. So how can I show this to you guys? It's like so far down I can't even scroll there. There you go. That took a bit of zooming. Oh, why isn't this image? I've previously downloaded this exact image and booted it on this exact platform without any changes whatsoever required. And I'm now retracing my steps and somehow it's harder. Okay, let's go other OS. You know things are going well when you're basically finished your second beer and you haven't benched a single thing yet. Disc part clean. Hmm. So I have it set to UEFI, but somehow that boot option is coming up anyway. I would have expected, well, no, okay, hold on. Don't blame it on AMD. All multi-card configs are really fucked up. I've probably had more issues with SLI than Crossfire, but there's no point in blaming Nvidia or blaming AMD. I think multi-card has always been an afterthought, but for both vendors equally. So it finds the drive, but it doesn't give it to me as a boot option with CSM off. I literally had this booting. It's just one of these things where you get something working and you're like, oh, that's easy. Well, I don't have to spend any time on this now. I can just get this working at will when I needed to get it working. And then the next time you spend 2 hours It's just overclocking. Like, disk part succeeded in cleaning the disk. And then sometimes in these kind of situations, it's just a slightly broken SATA cable or a slightly broken SATA drive, and you're like, how am I supposed to know that? Ugh. All of these boot options are just like, surely they can build a logic into the BIOS that literally just goes and iterates through every combination of boot options, CSM on, off, UEFI on, or like yes or no, and just like makes the absolute best effort to boot a disk. Instead, it's like, you pick the right combination. Everyone keeps talking about AI. Fuck AI, but I wouldn't mind some AI to tell me how to boot my disk. That would actually be useful. Now it's telling me I can't eject my drive. Okay, so we do have a Windows. Yeah, it looks legit. Can't stop your volume device because program is still using it. Okay. Is that part of our problem? Fuck, okay, let's just try booting this piece of shit anyway. Come on, system, you can do it. When did Windows 10 come out again? 2016? Is that right? 2015 maybe? Yeah, July 2015. You can manage to boot a 9-year-old US OS. That can't be out of the realm of possibility. Let's do it. Oh, secure boot. I forgot about that. Oh no, that's only when CSM is off. Or is it? No, yeah, it doesn't let me go change secure boot while CSM is on. Which on some boards you can, for sure. Unless I'm totally crazy. Which I probably am, you know. Yes, it's gonna boot. No, it's, I mean, I'm just making that up. This is just positive reinforcement right here. Let's do it. I'm ready. A0? See, that's really weird. Why is it booting now and not the last time I restored it? That's super fucking weird. Okay. Well, this resolution is totally cancerous, so let's go to our trusty 1080p. This, see, this how you can tell as OS didn't come from me, because there are clearly multiple issues, like who pins Explorer, who pins Edge. That's just, who enables Recycle Bin. That's just not on. That's just, I mean, no words for that. Themes, desktop icons, yes. Who has computer as a desktop icon? Like, that's just, and I don't like the animations. Performance, best performance. Okay. Right click manage. I just do Windows E and then right click manage. Oh, that's a 5-5 score. Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to drop down to 5-5 for no reason today. Let's make sure our USB is working. All this stuff that just doesn't... Anyway, I shouldn't be complaining. Without this drive, I'd be pretty screwed now, so... Who installs CPU-Z? You obviously unzip CPU-Z. You don't install it? No way. Yeah. Definitely getting rid of that. It's an old version anyway. And we gotta... What we gotta do is... Ooh, so it's not seeing that USB. What about these USBs? Ugh, that one looks just... Even this kind of stuff, like I just... Oh, there we go. Haven't chosen an auto start action yet. That's pretty noobish as well, I have to say. I kind of like the push the hardware. It's a nice background. And why timing configurator plus memtweak? Clearly, if timing configurator works, there's no reason to go with memtweak. Okay, so CPU-Z. Okay, Windows 10, 32-bit, 32M, Z790. Boom. I hate people who don't like label their drives either. Like, you can rename it. What's the point in not renaming it? Extract here. No, that's not what I meant, but okay. CPU-Z 2.09. Oh, the 64 one won't launch, will it? So delete that. There we go. We've got that. I don't know why Ghost Toolbox is on there, but let's not delete it just yet. It's detecting everything fine. And the other thing is, if you're building a 32M OS, like clearly you're never going to launch these other ones, so why keep them in the menu? You know, I mean, PyFast maybe. Well, that's a 32, but bench anyway. So I wish there were some sort of mass delete actually. I know this is riveting stuff, but I don't like having stuff on an OS that just will never get clicked. Okay, let's make sure. There's a lot of options set there. How are we in terms of... Oh, that maximum that's set is like horrendous. Like, will it even run 32M? Like, it's not gonna, like, it's just gonna run out, isn't it? So if I close GTL, does that free something up? Yeah, I think it might be like optimized to run. Oh, there's something else that needs to be installed, isn't there? Like some sort of driver or something. Okay, just... Why is like the network service still enabled? There's a lot of stuff still enabled. Okay, I'll apply my profile and yeah, it's like large. Is it large page support or something? My WhatsApp search isn't working, which is really annoying. Hold on, what did we use to boot? We booted WHQL, CSM on, nothing too fancy. Okay, so now we load the 32M profile. No, large system cache is like, that's like a tweak. It's not really, it doesn't really do anything in terms of the available RAM. Oh, I mean PAE, sorry, physical address extension. So it's, let's see how we go. Let's see how. Okay, so still not there. So the next thing to try is it did something. I mean, whatever. Let's just do a quick reboot. Who cares? I thought there was like some. Oh god! I literally set up this exact OS before, and it's escaped me. You can probably you can probably judge from how long it takes to boot that it hasn't done anything. I can still test for RAM stability while I figure this shit out. Set affinity, let's just go all threads. Let's set our like clocks. Let's do a 60 run, just 1.5, I guess. See, now it launched without complaining about not being able to allocate the RAM disk. It doesn't seem terrible. Let's just kick off a 32M. Just see what's going on. 2.9 in it. If only I knew what that is. Let's go. Okay, that's actually surprisingly fast. So we're doing 60x. The absolute best 60x has a loop 2 of 21.641. We're not losing much, like just with this random run. Okay, let's let that finish. Okay. So I found the patches. Okay. This is like, I literally, on the 5th of March, I did this exact thing. And now I'm doing it all over again. I even wonder if it's actually gonna help. This score seems pretty fast. I mean, okay. In the context of, you know, it just being a random run, like only 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds slow. I'll save it. Let me prepare my USB. how does it compare to? Well, it's going to be really slow compared to my 11th gen score. While that's running, okay, so what's our 72, 50, like 3 seconds slow over 4 minutes? It's not really, it's not terrible, but we'll save it, and the only change we'll make is the PAE, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, last few loops. I'm gonna get a drink. Be right back. What did I miss? Oh, it finished. 4:11.5. So pretty much 4 seconds slower. Sadly, my drink is only sparkling water, but I think I'll survive. Out of beer. Okay, let's save that as a reference. By the way, the other thing, I like really high mouse sensitivity, and no one else likes it as high as that. I mean, at least 18. At least 18. This is only a reference anyway. And then I like to put a shortcut. Shortcut to bench height. So I can set it as like, let's set it as a background. Let's make it fun. But now of course it's like, oh, what's real and what's not real? Benching PAE. Right click and run as admin. If the command is all green, it worked. Okay, cool. But you've got to like to actually see the output. You kind of have to do it like this. What is it? PAE. What the hell? So C++ 210. Okay. No, it's the commands. The command script. Okay, so that's like another sort of, ugh, like it's almost like a README. Yeah, I remember that, and you know, it's like, oh, if the if the text is green, everything's good, but it doesn't like really explicitly tell you when it's done. Like the text is always green from the beginning. All right, this is good. We're sort of like building a 32-bit OS almost from first principles, so that kind of has value in and of itself. So it literally adds another boot entry. That's interesting. So now I've got 28 gigs of RAM. It's funny because it's probably going to be slower now, if anything, because oh well, it depends on how memory starved it was, but doesn't SuperPi kind of like maximum to be set? I had like a 5.7 or something last time. Yeah, see, it's slower. Let's see. It's significantly slower. Okay, weird. Um, I want a damn confirmation dialog. That's what I want. And why is it? Why is that a so-called tweak? It should just be impossible for SuperPi ever not to have a confirmation dialog. How is it this much slower? That's crazy. Okay, let's look at what kind of maximum. So, just spend the last 15 minutes trying to get more memory. Now I'm like, fuck this, it's slower with more memory. Let's restrict our memory again. Let's see what kind of maximum sends has. So 1.17 active. So let's do our sums. This is like a maths lesson. No, why is it on all caps? Remove memory. Let's go 30,500. It's not too much, yeah. Unless setting a different background is like what is throwing it off. No, it's an OS patch. I just showed you. It's a PAE patch. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Azus does not have some sort of bias magic that circumvents the necessity for this patch. I'm just saying that in this case, the way to fix it is this patch. 2 gigs is a bit too much, but we can give it a go. See how we track. It's still slower. Super slow. Oh, this is a 21H1. Let's quickly go up to 8200 RAM as well. I can always go back to the non-PAE Win 10. What's Team AU's 32M? This will be telling. No, I don't. Oh, also use the 800. So PAE must slow down this specific bench. That's okay. Let's make sure it passes. So there's a 4200 RAM. Okay, so yeah, RAM doing nothing. I'll have to make sure to edit msconfig. So I mean, I don't know if there's a way to unpatch the OS, but why is there thermal paste on my arrow keys on my OS? But the next best thing would be to just patch msconfig. Okay, so I'll boot non-PAE now, and then I'll make sure that the default selection will end up being non-PAE. Yeah, I feel like that would be the fast, like maybe I've lost efficiency in some other way, but yes, so this is default. Yeah, boom, there we go. Don't show. Now it might be slower anyway because we went up a RAM strap and maybe that loosened the RTLs or something. Can anyone see what the real reason is for being slower? I've not been applying multi. Oh, it's okay. We can still bin PAE versus non-PAE. I'm sure there's gonna be a difference. Oh God, you couldn't make it up. I mean, I am 2 beers in. I have an alibi. I have like, what is it called? Plausible deniability. Okay, so launcher SuperPi. Yeah, that seems insanely fast now somehow. What is it? Is it Oxen's razor or something. Um, I don't know. There's some sort of idiom to say that usually it's the really simple things. Okay, so up 20 milliseconds. Okay, well we'll just pass the 4200 just to be super safe, and I'll save that as a new. What I'll do, I'll probably do a 6.2 run, save that as a new reference. After this, I'll do a 6.2 run, save it as a new reference, then go into the PAE environment and just have a little bit of a play around. Maybe it's a little bit faster. I mean, let's check out Team AU. So, Team AU. Let's see if I can comment on whether it's fast or slow just without looking at the ranking. 8.27, 3 minutes and 3 seconds. I don't know. What's the RAM? 4666 basically. Doesn't seem. I don't know. Let's check it. I can't really comment. So, without PAE, speeding's a rock, but I mean, just by the thinnest of margins. It's not a single person with less core ahead. There are two with more core. It's just so core bound that, I mean, look at this ranking. Everything's just like, if you've got 10 more megahertz, you're ahead in the ranking. The end, you know, it's just so hard to kind of judge that. All right. So what are we up? We're up 100 milliseconds. So you're talking like 200 milliseconds total overall. It's gonna be with that extra 200 RAM. Yeah, I'll run off. So, okay, so Surge is another gigabyte bencher. Did he go PAE? Yes. Okay, so Surge is PAE. Might just be worth it going PAE just to just for booting the OS quicker. It might just be the exact same efficiency. I'm probably being held back a bit by not being on. Oh, Surge is on 21H1 as well. Interesting. Very interesting. So I think I mentioned at the start of the stream that trans coding is back, so that's good. So people on mobile and all that, you've got your 160p, 360p, 480p, 720p, and 1080p, which is the source. I wish, well, Twitch is never going to do that because Amazon's basically put Twitch mode in like an enhanced kind of maintenance mode almost. But I sort of wish Twitch just gave us enough bandwidth to like stream it like, I mean, not over 1080p, but just like higher bit rates, you know, because I do 6 megabit. It would be nice to be able to stream it like 10 megabit or something. So if nature is half of what it should be, it's probably your cards actually sort of soft crashed and left boost mode, or you lost a core or something, or you lost crossfire. Yeah, okay, so it's 240 milliseconds is not nothing. What I want is I want the wallpaper here so I can reapply it as necessary. So now let's do this. All right, okay, save results, open GTL, literally, why is, I hate that as well. Why are we unbalanced? Jesus. This is shit. So many things wrong here, but okay. Let's do an easy 62 should be easy. 62 and just maybe knock up the ring by 1. I don't want this ring to be the reason that it fails, but knock up the ring by 1 just for good measure. And we want this set as a background so we see the progress. Go over here. Yeah, 200 series is particularly tough. Okay, so we're gonna break the 11 seconds of the 4 minutes 11 seconds this time around, so that'll be good. Anyone watching the NBA playoffs? Okay, so that's 2 seconds. So we'll actually be like getting kind of close to my score. What was it? 4 minutes 7 or 4 minutes 5? I've already forgotten. 4 minutes 3. Okay, well, what loop 7 is a minute 10.6, minute 10.3. Wow, okay. I think it's gonna happen, guys. I think we're actually gonna beat this LN2 11th gen score on water, not even particularly cold water. So that'll be fun. So this patched OS, if I have any sort of smarts about me, oh, okay, so we are losing though. We're losing 500 milliseconds a loop. Is that right? Not just 500 milliseconds overall. If I have any sort of brains about me, I will image this drive and label it as well, and maybe just never really, not for the foreseeable future at least, not right over it. So what do people, I'm just seeing that the max core temp was 57 degrees as well. I think my mount is kind of fucked. Hopefully that doesn't hold back clocks too much. I just love the style, like I love the just aesthetics of this run, you know. XP, down chord, 4800 C14, you know, maximum set. Just gotta love it. Compare that to this bullshit that we're running here, you know. Windows 10 for 32M. What sacrilege is all I've got to say there. What absolute sacrilege. Loop 20. Well, we're 6 seconds faster. That's really getting up there. Seven seconds faster now. Oh, 0.801 versus 0.281. Okay, well, but we're obviously, Are we saving it? Yeah, just for comparison's sake, we're saving it. I wonder how 6-3 is gonna go. Maybe a quick 6-3 just to knock out the personal best. Is it this one? Yeah, that's the one. Set as background. Open GTL. Come on. Open up. I think the buttons would work in this scenario too, but let's not faff about, as they say. Oh, I didn't want to. Okay, I guess I'm relaunching it. No way am I gonna run an off height 32M window. That's sacrilege. Okay. Straight away 50 milliseconds. Nice. Let's do it. Well, I can definitely tell there's more of a viewership on the weekend. I don't know. I just I didn't want to wait, and I missed last weekend. I wasn't able to stream last weekend. I didn't want to like a full 2 minute, 2 week wait just for this puny little 32M stream. So I decided to stream kind of a week and a half since the last stream. But yeah, I'm getting LN2 on Tuesday, and I've gotten some 5600Xs in, and one of them is in the 1.1 XX vid range. So that's really interesting. I'll have to try that on LN2. Maybe that's a good one to kind of stream. I haven't done an LN2 stream in a long time, but maybe that's the one that's going to entice me. Okay, so loop 6, under a minute. Yeah, so we're officially there. We're beating our current best. Nice. Does microcode do anything for 32M, by the way? Jeez, okay, Richie on 12th gen, but that's LN2 DDR4. Are we gonna beat him? Loop 10 is 139, 138. Okay, so that's a goner. What's next? Oh, here we've got a 4900K score. That's 6.5, but horrendously inefficient. But that might be a goner too. Let's see. We're on loop 12 now. It's 1 minute and 58. Okay, that's a goner as well. It's fun sort of leapfrogging up a ranking like this. Like there's 75,000 globally ranked 32M score. So you're like every little, why do people open up GPUZs for 32M? So every little change, you just know exactly, like you're just popping up the rankings. Okay, so that's beat as well. Let's see. Let's try and go. Let's see if we can go into the 4 minute seconds area. 158.8 for loop 12, and we had a 158.1. Okay, so that's done as well. Let's see the 4 minute flat. Are we good enough for 4 minute flat? This is a 6.7 score. These people are not optimizing their runs, but that's fine. These are just runs on dailies. No judgment. Okay, so our loop 19 is a 3 minute 6.1, so 400 faster than this even. 400 milliseconds faster, which means maybe Halim? Maybe we're in kind of the Halim area. So what's our loop 20? 3:15.7. 3:15.7. Okay, very close match. Loop 22 is 3:34.7, 3:44.8, 6.8. Okay, so slightly better than Halim. What about Fobosk? We might be slightly slower than Fobosk. 4 minute, yes, beaten by 7 milliseconds. So now we obviously have to get below 4 minutes. But it's progress. Progress is progress, as they say. Progress is progress. Should I start including ATCs? May as well start including ATCs if I can fit it. Oh, why is he not removed? Yeah, changed the scaling. There we go. That's more reasonable. I mean, we've got to try 6.4. We've got to try 6.4. Just I was barely able to pass like some O1 tests with that, but you know, maybe I don't know. The lower V core helps, or I don't know. This, yeah. So latest, set as background. Move this across. Very latest microcode is slow. Okay, so we're kind of safe here. I mean, there's a microcode selection box thingy, but okay. Still running. Okay, so if it passes, I'd imagine under 3:59 or under 4 seconds, 4 minutes, I mean. So let's skip ahead in the rankings a little bit. Ooh, someone went to the trouble of running on XP. Oh, this is 11th gen though. So where are we at? Loop 3 is a 30.2. Okay, so we're 400 milliseconds better than this guy. So that means... Okay, here we go, Paul. I think he's not in chat anymore, but if you excuse me, if you watch the VOD, is Paul in chat? No, he's gone. Here's the comparison between you and my run, but I am 100 megahertz ahead, so it's not really a fair comparison. And this is DDR3 versus DDR4. So I have a loop 7 of a minute 8.5. Ooh, minute 9.3. Okay. So already done and dusted. Let's check the 3-minute 58s then. See if we find some valid comparison there. A loop 10 of 137.2. Okay, so that's almost a second faster. Okay, so 157 Audigy. Let's try Audigy. So he's at 636. Loop 12 is a minute 56.4, 56.9. So half a second faster than Audigy. Yi, okay, Yi, friend of the channel. Let's check out Yi. Also at 6.4, but on DDR4 it looks like. So we're on loop 14 now, which is a 2:15.6, 2:15.8. So close match, but still faster. Okay, let's check out 3-minute 56s. I'll probably be behind against Andres Sergio, but maybe throughout the run I can pick something up. It'll be close. So loop 17 of 244.3. 244.3. So I'm currently 26 milliseconds behind. So let's see if we can, let's track that and let's see if we can pick something up here. Now, consistently behind, but that's fine. What's he running? Well, he is 100 megahertz ahead. Lower on core, higher RAM, 100 more on the core. So unless we get a big pop at the end here, ooh, we're still loop 20. We're suddenly 3 milliseconds ahead. As we tick over the 2-hour mark. Oh, I ate too much dinner. I feel so fat now. 56,727. Okay, so beat that. Oh, Bullseye on an 1100 900k is not so far away. Interesting. Fun comparison between 11th and 13th/14th gen. Just interesting interaction in terms of how the IPC works and all that. 32M seems extremely light. The fact that it's lighter than 01 is kind of shocking me. Set this as background. Okay, so hang on setting background. I can still go higher V-core though. Jeez, already 9 p.m. Where's the day gone, guys? I bought a new Formula 5Z bias chip recently, and this is how they kind of presented it, how they packaged it and sent it from the UK. I need to check it out if it's actually going to fix my issue. Okay, I'm kind of impressed. Still got some condensation on the rig, even though it's set to 16 degrees. Okay, so set the background. Open GTL, try. What was the last one? Last one was 6.4. Let's try 6.5. Oh, it's booted PA, non-PAE. How? I thought I said. All the scores are PA, non-PAE as well. Okay, that's fine. Let's just keep going with that. Let's launch the bench. Okay, so it's not giving me the error, and now I can open GDL and CPZ and set my clocks. No, don't detect clock problems. So 5.5. 5.6 ring. Set 64 first, and then try for 65. Now we've got our fast run set. Okay, that was kind of expected. So now what we can do is push B clock, or maybe not. Yeah, just try like 645. Also just gotta try affinity as well. Okay. So 645 divided by 64 multi would be 100.8. Let's try 100.8. I don't think over 1.5 really did anything, but we can test later. 64 and 100.8. Nice. Yeah, you kind of have to launch your bench and all that before you set clocks, don't you? Or maybe we try this B clock for the sake of getting on core and RAM up. So at 63, so let's say 64 divided by 63. So let's try 101.6 B clock at 63 multi, but also launch the bench before, just to cut out the unnecessary random hangs and things. 101.6 B clock. Maybe at 55 cash. Maybe I don't want to hit the cash limit for no apparent reason. We were still launching some stuff in the background. Are we now good? How can we be? That did the trick. Okay, so we've got our bench open. Now we want to set clocks. 101.6. Slightly low. Can I go 2 digits? I can. Nice. So that's 40 or 8333 RAM. I don't know how good my sticks are, but let's just give it a go, give it a bash. What's the worst that could happen? That run seems slow, but maybe over the course of a 32M it'll balance itself out. 4 milliseconds faster. Well, we'll take anything. Let's attempt a relaunch and a reattempt. Not bad. Oh, your O3 is up. Okay, let's spend some time on this O3. Let's look at the dick pics as well. Interesting, using this header for the fan for the cards. Nice wraparound. We all love the old wraparound. Using an Enermax PSU, that's interesting. So third global. Let's see if we can spot something. Clock similar. Are you on high hertz? Did I ask you that already? Are you on high hertz? $11.75 versus whatever this is, 12 something. 12.20. Your GT1. Your proxy is good. Your trolls is good. Your nature is good. Your GT1 is. No, hold on. Okay, everything's low. Okay, everything's low. Are you actually on 8,000 flat? Yeah, but GT1. Okay, so here's my process. I don't know if it's gonna help you at all, but because GT1 comes first, you can just escape out of it when the frames aren't good. Like you look for the end frame, but even you don't even have to wait that 30 seconds. Like you look for the peak, like when the Lancaster bomber is center frame coming towards you, then you get like an 11K or 12K peak. And if the peak is off, I just escape and just rerun. What are you doing? By the way, this is a not exact. What are you doing in terms of affinity and priority? Yeah, did you try 8.1 though? If 8.2 got very far, then maybe 8.1 passes. No, you gotta look for the end frame. Like, you have to have a sense for that, because like a totally fucked GT1, it doesn't make sense to continue the run, in my opinion. Okay, so what are we doing? Let's try a bit more VDIM. Yeah, fair. I think my sticks are kind of heating up as well. I don't know if well, first of all, the mount clearly is a bit wanked. All right. Let's open up our ATC. Yes, it is actually detecting that, so that's good. Let's we gotta Do we have to do an explorer kill again? Okay, let's set our clocks again. Let's do the exact same thing. It wasn't like the RAM wasn't really influencing anything anyway, but just to see. Okay, I could have tried higher VCore actually. Sometimes this kind of stuff. 101.65 wasn't it? And then P cores 63. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, but I gotta rerun my 0103 scores. I think they're all still on 12th gen, so I like 7.1 gigahertz, so there's a lot to be gained there. A shit ton to be gained. I'm tired somehow. Okay, worse. Okay, so if only there were half multis, like on any good benching platform. Not much competition. Well, Oggs and Team AU are plenty competition as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so 101 B clock. Can I even do 101 B clock at 64? Is that less than 6.5? Okay. Just give it a little bit more just in case that helps anything. Okay, we did want to check the PAE environment, so let's maybe do an exact rerun of our previous run there and see what happens. Well, nothing has a lot of competition compared to 32M, so that's kind of obvious. Okay, so we've got 2 megs or 2 gigs of RAM. Let's just copy everything and go to town. Your chip seems pretty low, like VCore. Like if that CPU-Z readout is correct, 1.69. That's pretty balling, pretty baller. And it was 5.6 on. 6.4 real cores, 5.6 on. and we haven't changed anything except we've got more RAM to play with. One thousandth faster so far. Oh, exactly flat. Okay, well, it's at least not slower. 1.76. Oh, okay, that's pretty decent. Okay, now we're slower. Yeah. A little bit slower. I'll give it another couple of loops. 29, 836. Okay, I've seen enough. Let's see if we can optimize our remove mem somewhat. No, don't. BCD edit set remove memory. So we were at 30.5. So now let's do 31. So yeah, Serge is on PAE. And what did he end up selecting? $1.83. Okay. Let's try to match that somewhat closely. Let's just run off a quick 1M. Oh, it's telling me I don't have enough. Okay, we're in the... Should have pressed arrows. It's a pretty nice desktop background, actually. All right. What's it showing now? 1.5. Maybe not enough. 1.53 actively, 1.8. Let's go, so 300 megs more. Let's go 300 megs more. 3,700. And throw whatever tweaks you might have at me that you're willing to share beyond just Windows 10, set correct maximum, pump your RAM. 10.83, so 10.82. Okay, perfect. Well, not perfect, but you know, close enough. uh, 1 point. Let's just go 1.6. Let's not fuck around. 56, 64. Apply. It's set. vCore is set. Encore is set. Minimize. Arrange. Boom. Now we've got our 1000th lead again. How long is gonna? How long is that gonna last? Oh, priority. It's interesting because the tweaks section of Benchmade chooses not to show priority, so I don't think there's any way of actually seeing it in a screenshot. So that's a bit of a shame. No, it's yeah, we're losing that customary like 15 milliseconds again. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, in 32M, you mean if you see a video of the run or just by the relationship of the loops to each other? Because you can always tell everything in 32M with that, but I'm just saying like an easy tell. Okay. Yeah, let's literally just do the exact same thing again with high. Well, that 1M wasn't anything to write home about, but you know, 1M is not always in any sort of direct relation to 32M. Oh, so 4 milliseconds on the start now. That's interesting. Still losing time. Okay. I'm not going to say this is any kind of conclusive evidence that PAE is slower, but I'm not willing to put any more time into it right now, so I'm going to actually go back into the non-PAE environment, do a quick high run to see how that goes in the early stages, and then just try to kind of max my core, like maybe add half a B clock or something. And that'll be the end of the stream. I think I wasn't expecting to stream for 2.5 hours tonight, but you know, I dug my own grave there by not having an OS ready. But you know me by now. That's nothing new. Set priority high. Okay, we gotta be careful with how and when and why and so on. Well, that wasn't very smart, was it? Can I still? Oh yeah, I can still foreground it. Boom. Come on, GTL. Launch on those 800 megs of memory. 56, 64. I am on high, right? Yeah, I am on high. Like you said, slower start for non-real time. Ooh, just slower everything. Hey, we'll give it another couple of loops. 12 milliseconds. It's starting to get into the territory where I'm not convinced it's ever gonna. Oh, yeah. Yeah, loop 10 is a good comparison point on any platform. Thirty-seven, 322. Yeah, it doesn't really look like it's ever going to pick that up, is it? I mean, maybe my OS just lost a bit of efficiency somehow. I'll do half a B clock. Let's see how that goes. I mean, if we're still slower with half a B clock more, then that's kind of a total disaster. Have the OS booted for 30 minutes. Not sure if trolling. I mean, I totally understand. Yeah, I totally believe you that there's just certain things that happen. Not exact. Just from that half a B clock. Let's give it a bit more V-core maybe. Hang. Alright, I think that's gonna do it. Blue screen to end the stream. What could be more appropriate? Next stream, I'm hoping LN2, but never any promises because I often get LN2 and then I just get so focused on getting the scores out I don't think about streaming. Do you try TXSR? TXSR. I'll note it down. I'll do it off screen. Stream. Is that a timing or is it tweak in Benchmade or what? Probably a timing. I mean, it's not quite, kind of sounds like a timing. Oh, it booted. One of the hidden ones. I wonder what this profile sets it to. Alright, let me have a quick look. Probably auto. Chances are auto, but you never know. Come on, system. Need to set it in mem tweak it. I don't know if Gigabyte even lets you do that. It's just one of those AMD Asus things, right? 64 RTL. I think one of these boots, my RTLs loosened to 64. There were 63 earlier. That might explain a few things. TXS offset. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, thanks. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in like a week, I guess.